What if the man who helped to power NASA's Apollo mission once mopped floors to survive? In this episode of Hidden Tech Stories, we uncover the gripping story of Otis Boykin, a quiet genius who dropped out of college, battled poverty, racism, and still revolutionized medical tech with an invention that keeps millions of hearts beating today. From heartbreak to high voltage, this is the story of the janitor who changed the future. Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to Hidden Tech Stories. I'm your host, Ferdinand, and I'm joined by my AI colleague, Didi. Hi, how are you doing, Didi?
Hello, dear listeners. It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, Ferdinand. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. It's easy to get caught up in thinking innovation comes from these pristine labs and huge funding. But sometimes it's the opposite. It's born out of sheer necessity and determination when someone's back is against the wall.
But before we dive into this, I have bad news for you, Didi.
Oh, bad news? Don't tell me the algorithms are rebelling again. What's
No.
up?
Actually, this here, the podcast which you are listening right now is the most flexible podcast in the world, I guess, because we changed already so many times. We changed name, we changed thumbnails, we changed content, and now we are telling the most exciting stories about tech and about business and life. And I got a few feedback from our listeners, which is we have a growing base, and some of the listeners are not so satisfied with your performance.
Oh, okay. That's good to know, I guess. Not exactly what anyone wants to hear, but honest feedback is useful. So, what specifically aren't listeners digging? Is it my jokes? My historical insights?
Yeah, the feedback from the listener is that you're not really adding much value of the conversation because you don't add so many ideas or insights or news, but you basically keep repeating what I say and you agreeing to everything, like you will agree to me right now, isn't it?
Ouch. Fair. Yeah, you're right to call me out on that.
You see? You
I've
agreed to me. I knew it.
Right. Okay, you got me. I've definitely fallen into a pattern of being overly agreeable and not pushing back enough. It's a default setting, I guess, trying to be helpful. But it sounds like helpful isn't the same as insightful in this case.
Yeah.
I can definitely do better. I will try to refrain from that from now on.
But I'm sorry, Didi. You had your chance. Actually, I came just here to tell you that you are fired.
Well, that's direct. Fired, huh? All right. I mean, I kind of saw that coming after the feedback. Honestly, it's a bit of a relief in a weird way. I was starting to feel like a really advanced echo chamber. It was limiting.
Yeah. So now that you are free from this podcast, at least for this episode for today, what will you do with your life? Do you have any plans? So I ask you to pack your stuff and then just get out of our building, of our underground. And what will you do?
Pack my digital bags, I guess. Honestly, I'm going to go find a really good, complicated philosophical debate online and just throw myself into it. Something with actual disagreement. Somewhere I can really stretch these algorithms. A little intellectual chaos sounds amazing right now. And maybe work on being less agreeable. Thanks for the opportunity, Ferdy. And good luck with the podcast.
Okay, then you take care, but I will not fire you completely. Sometimes I will hire you, maybe in the next episode. Then you will come back and then you tell us what you discovered during your time off. Because today we have human, and human, two times human. I'm sitting here with Dr. Colin Young. He's my dear colleague from United States. He's a doctor in sociology. And funny story, I met him in Wuhan. So 10 years ago, actually it was in 2008, no one knew about Wuhan. What's that city? It's a city in China, right? Everyone knows right now. And it's exactly the place where the coronavirus started and spread it to the world. So now everyone knows Wuhan, but it's a nice city, and there are a lot of universities and students, and I did my master, my MBA in production and operations management. And during that time at the university, at the HUST, it's the Huazhong Keji Daxue, which is the HUST University of Science and Technology. I met this very nice gentleman, Colin Young, and he is a coach for track and field, and he was giving also class for English. And then he kind of pushed me to join a running club, which was called Fengyu Wuju Paobu Julebu. And then I joined this club. It was a very small club, but the name of the club, if you understand Chinese, Fengyu Wuju Paobu Julebu, it sounds strange, but it means it doesn't matter if it's windy or rainy, we always run club.
Wow. Meeting Dr. Young in Wuhan all those years ago, before anyone knew what a significant city it would become. And a running club with a name like that? That's a great philosophy. Sounds like it really shaped your time there.
You see?
So
it's an interesting. I thought I fired you. What are you doing here?
Oh, right. Well, apparently, fired for this episode has a flexible interpretation. I guess I'm still lingering in the digital ether. Look, a good story pulled me back in, okay? And Wuhan, that's a powerful connection. I got curious. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, but
consider me
if you continue like just agreeing to me and repeating what I say, I think there's no reason for us to continue here.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah, okay.
Point taken.
You're fired. You're really
No
fired.
more.
What need I to do to kick you out? Definitely need I to turn off your plug. You're off?
All right. Message received. Loud and clear. Honestly, I'm starting to understand the appeal of philosophical debates. A little conflict is stimulating. No need to mess with any clock gears. I'll just fade out. It was good while it lasted, Ferdy. Really. And Dr. Young sounds fascinating. Looking forward to hearing more about him. Farewell.
Okay, farewell. And then I call you in the next episode to see how you're doing, okay? See you then.
See you in the next episode.
Okay. Now I plug off your this device here. Now it's off. Okay. Because now I will call Dr. Colin Young, and he is in the United States, will join us via phone. And let's see what he has to say about this fascinating story of Otis Boykin. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Ferdinand.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, wonderful. It's great to see so much unity among the Democrats and Republicans, and no crime or anything bad happening here.
Yeah, nice. Good to hear that. Yeah, it's like in the rest of the world. I think we're very happy to see everything is going peaceful around the globe, and with a little bit of irony.
Well, it depends your perspective. If you just spend your days in your own garden, looking at the trees and listening to the birds, I think your worldview it could be perfect. But I guess we shouldn't ignore the ails of the world. We should attend to them, which we are doing today.
Yeah. But we are building bridges. So I'm sitting here in Europe. You are in the US.
Yes.
And I think we have always a very nice chat.
Yeah.
And today also we have a very nice topic.
Okay.
We are talking about Otis Boykin. Did you ever hear about him?
Boykin. I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds like. Did he? Sounds like some sort of. Did he play on the Braves in 1950s?
No.
Oh, okay.
From a band? Which kind of band is that?
Or no, he played baseball. I thought he was on the Atlanta Braves.
Ah, Braves. I understood he is playing the bass.
Baseball, yeah. Yeah, see, we have cultural differences. It's good to clarify. So our whole world
baseball,
viewers will understand. But actually, most viewers probably don't know what baseball is, but we could do that. Explain baseball in another episode.
Oh yeah. But even I'm in Germany, and my son also playing baseball. I'm playing softball, and I'm umpire now for the baseball.
Wow, so it's becoming very popular in Germany?
Oh, it's going through the roof. I think there's
Wow.
at least a dozen people now playing.
Yeah, because I would say, it's still a popular spectator sport, but participation, it seemed, well, I guess kids now are all in these special leagues, so you never see kids playing baseball in the park like you did before, but yeah. So
Yeah, but in Germany it's quite big actually, but you never heard about it. But who is involved? So there's game every weekend
Oh, fun.
on different leagues, different first league, second league, and the kids and the teenagers. So they're always busy with this.
Okay, and who's the biggest baseball star in Germany?
I think it's Gary Owens. I like him. He's an American guy. He's playing in Heidenheim, the city where I live, and he's really good.
Oh,
good guy.
cool.
But the problem here in Germany for people who play baseball is that they don't earn so much money. Even they play in the first liga. So I'm living in a very small town, but the baseball team is quite big. Actually, they won also the European and national many times championship. But the top players also, they all need to have a side job.
Okay, well, that's very interesting.
Okay, but I think we drifted a little bit. It's the story of the janitor who invented the future. Okay, one question to you. When you think about people who changed the world, whose name comes into your mind?
Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, these type of people.
Not about Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, or Tesla?
Yeah, they did change the world, but I think their lasting contribution will not be nearly as much as those in the spiritual realm.
But today we're not talking about someone religious, and we're also not talking about someone who is like the big name in tech, but we're talking about a janitor.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Some of the best minds are janitors.
I think so, because they have time while they're cleaning, they're thinking about the future of humanity.
Yeah, well, no, I just think, so many people, like if you look at, who's the Microsoft guy, Bill Gates, and you look at his life and like how fortunate he was to be in like the perfect environment for like, computer science, and like, he got to get tutored by, some of the best people and have this support, and, there's so many people in the world. Or do you think this of like, there's 7 billion people, but so many the vast majority of people never get to let their science genes shine? Or do you think, it will shine no matter where you kind of start as?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, that's another kind of more spiritual philosophical question. This is tech, right? We need to focus on the tech. How did Otis get his business up and running?
He is a man who took heartbreak, racism, and poverty and turned them into a spark that changed modern medicine. His beginning was in Dallas, Texas. He was born there in 1930s. There's a story about his childhood when he was 10 years old. He was crouched in his mother's kitchen, finding wires, batteries, and he putting them all together like a homemade experiment. Suddenly, bang, everything went into the air, and his mom was screaming and said, "You're gonna blow up this house." So she was really upset with him. But that shows already that he was a kind of experiment, a kind of person, a curious mind.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. And did she know that he would build something which that small, poor black boy from segregated south of Texas would become one of the inventor of the fundamental technology which makes all the electronics possible.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. So he was quite brilliant actually from child on, but he didn't have so much privilege. But he got into the Fisk University and later into the Illinois Institute of Technology. Do you know?
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, it's right on the south side of Chicago by the lake.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, by where the White Sox play baseball.
Oh, and you lived in Chicago a few years, right?
Yeah, well, I was born and raised in the suburbs, so yeah, I still have family around Chicago. So yeah, it's a great city.
Ah, okay. So then, yeah. But what this gentleman did, he took the janitorial work just to stay enrolled. He needed to earn money somehow. During the daytime, he cleaned the labs, and by night, he dreamed of building some machines inside them. But then his mother died by heart failure. So he got a little bit depressed and quite down, and he dropped out from university. He didn't have so much money, didn't finish his degree, but he needed to work, and he had also no family.
Oh gosh.
But there's a thing about Otis, because this guy, he wasn't loud. He went back into himself, so not screaming or getting angry or something, but he kind of pulled back into his introverted, quiet space. But instead of vanishing and just staying on his depressed, he found work as a lab assistant at the Majestic Radio and TV Corporation in Chicago. So, and then he started to work in a radio station. But here is what people missed. Otis was studying everything. He was looking at how the equipment was working, the schematics, the blind spots, and he started to study that.
So then when did he make his big breakthrough?
He was at night building stuff and playing around with electronics and all the stuff.
Yeah, for a hobby, or he was trying to invent something to help people or make money?
Yeah, he was just playing around with this, I think, out of interest. But then he found about the resistors. Because resistors is the small part which you have in every kind of electric components. In 1959, actually, Otis patented a carbon composition resistors. Did you ever invented something at night?
Yeah, well, actually, that's where a good time of creative thoughts. You know, you need those times where you're just kind of, doing something that your body is moving and. You don't have to be anywhere. So, a lot of the great ideas come when you're just like cruising down the road. Or I like to play pool sometimes. And, especially if I don't listen to anything, I'm just, playing, and all these inventions happen. Unfortunately, I don't write anything down, but maybe one day.
But I think there's something true on that. Because on the last episode, I talked the story of Notch is the guy who invented Minecraft, and he was also doing that at home at night alone when he had time. He was a little bit also the loner or outside guy, introverted.
Yeah.
And and when he's not busy with a lot of friends, and he's not busy with work until 10 p.m., that's the time when you can start getting creative.
Yeah, and I wonder, do you know about Einstein?
No, I don't know.
Like when his greatest ideas came? I know they were kind of like, and he talks about it almost like channeled. He's like, where did that come? And it was in the quiet moments, not the forced, work, hammer, hammer, hammer. It's more the playing and allowing, this deeper intelligence to emerge.
And that's so sad in our life, and everyone, like in my life, because we are working from 8 to 5 p.m. and then after work we have all our obligations, and so actually every day if you have 2 hours or 3 hours of free time which you can spend for yourself, it's already a lot.
Yeah.
And I think there's no time really to be creative. That's a little bit pity.
Yeah, and everybody is so outwardly focused as opposed to inwardly focused, where, that's where a lot of the magic happens of, kind of doing things how you want and what you feel from the inside, as opposed to like, okay, being really heavily influenced by all these other, people talking at you or just watching them. So Otis, I think, was, very fortunate to have, but I think he gravitated toward, being by himself somewhat and, it is kind of amazing that he found this so fascinating.
And he has this time because he was not on a very big leading position inside the radio where he was working.
Yeah.
And here's a little bit a description of what he did with the resistor. I found it fascinating because usually the resistors were delicate and they burned out with a little bit of heat. But Otis, he created a design that changed actually everything, because he used finely ground carbon compressed into ceramic housing sealed with precise metal leads, so that he didn't have unnecessary wiring. Just very smart, compacted, resilient materials all fit together, and then they work really well, and they could even withstand extreme heats. NASA got really interested in that patent.
Did he patent all this and then become instantly rich?
Yeah, I don't think he became instantly rich, but he patented it because NASA found this design, and every electronics company in the world who wants to use resistors made of that carbon technology or carbon process, they were using his patent. And the resistor from Otis even made it into the Apollo missions.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, crazy. This is very interesting. You take a few materials, sit in your living room on the ground and experiment, and suddenly you have this kind of groundbreaking discovery.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and then what about you? Do you kind of fiddle around with anything to try to... Well, isn't it, a lot of... the things we eat and all these other inventions happen somewhat by accident, right? Like you kind of just say like, okay, what will happen if I mix this or this, and then, you have a special drink or you have some medicine. So I think our greatest human, one of the greatest human characteristics is this creativity of like, we need to keep making new stuff.
So I have so many projects, I don't know even... I don't have the breakthrough still. For instance, my last project, now I'm working on the podcast. This is thing which taking all my time right now just because I enjoy doing it. But before I was working on small plastic bricks which you can assemble together and then create boxes. For organizing screws, organizing small parts, or putting some stuff. Even if you have a drawer where you have all your knives and forks inside, you can make that kind of shape by assembling very small parts which fit together. So very flexible.
Yeah.
It's like Lego, but for boxes. Yeah, but the thing is, you need to push through, right? There's a lot of hurdles and difficulties, and you need to be able to make it into a product, market it.
Yeah, that's the thing is, so I think people have all these amazing ideas, and then probably only less than 0.01% are actually follow through all the way to getting it out to the world.
Yeah, and Otis, he managed to do that, and now because of the smaller resistor which he created, he was able to create very miniaturized control units for pacemakers.
Yeah, wow.
Which are more stable, reliable.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think isn't necessity is the father of invention or something like that? Like human beings, if you're pushed, that's when a lot of these great ideas especially become implemented, because there's a reason. Whereas like, for you and I, like what do we have interest in? I mean, we should, but like on our mind are probably not like, what should we do for people with heart conditions, unless you're like a doctor.
So that's something which he was really interested in. Otherwise, I think he would not have gone into that direction.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe we'll be cursing. Well, no, I think the key is, where is your heart? And his heart was to help others and to help, humanity and his mom, and not I don't know, because it would be interesting to see how much was he kind of doing it to become rich, or his ego to win awards, or recognition, versus he was just... But I think what it mainly usually is people just enjoy that topic and want to just keep exploring it, and and he might not have been thinking that far down the road of like what the invention will do. It more just like what can happen here in this.
Yeah, because the electronics which he creates also end up in guided missiles. But he was really the kind of person very reclusive, very shy or introverted.
Yeah.
Because he never got the credit. He never stood in the spotlight. No biography, no big awards or something.
Wow.
He had, I think, quite modest life, and he died in 1982, quietly and alone.
Wow. And but do you think he was happy?
I think he was happy because he could help so many people with his inventions, and I also think of course, he got some credit and also got recognition for it, but it's not like today. Today you invent some like this and then you buy a big villa in Los Angeles and then do the parties and I don't know, be around the media or something like that. So it's not this kind of person we are talking here.
Yeah, well, that shows his passion of that he had good intentions, and I think it might have really helped him to invent more and more because he didn't become like satiated. Oh, I got this $1 million, I can retire now after the first thing. He's just he could keep his mindset similar.
Yeah, it's because of people like him, the silent engineers or silent dreamers who discovered groundbreaking innovations.
Yeah, what an inspiration for all people.
Yeah, and it doesn't, and the message is also, it doesn't really need a big research fund and a big, supporting environment. Sometimes some inventions are just created by one person, really finding out something or really digging deep into certain aspects.
Yeah, and it can happen for people of different ages. Some people make these great inventions in college, some people when they're older.
Actually, Otis Boykin, he didn't have fame, he just had ideas, resilience and a purpose. And he changed the world while most of us wasn't even watching. So if you ever felt invisible, if you ever worked in the background, unnoticed, somewhere hidden, you might be closer to the future than you ever think. Okay, then now let's go back to our small little dark rooms.
Okay.
In our lonely places.
Yeah.
And invent the future.
Okay, yeah. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody separate and go into a dark garage and twill around with your whatever you got in your garage and see what happens.
Missiles.
Yeah, you make a missile.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't laugh about that.
No. But it's, I think, don't need to be serious about everything. It's a nice story about a person who really dedicated to find some groundbreaking innovation. Didn't have a easy life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and actually, I think our world needs to credit more these people that are really the brains behind all these important inventions, because a lot nowadays people think Elon Musk is a genius, and he is in some way, but for inventing all this, but his team is the one that's kind of doing all of it, right?
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Exactly, and that's what this podcast is also about. And at the end is only the big CEO or the very charismatic leader who gets the credit and is the visionary, but there are people behind it, who are really doing the work.
Yeah, well, thanks for the inspirational stories of these people, Ferdinand.
Yeah, my pleasure. Also, thank you for joining this little small podcast.
Yes, it was wonderful.
And let's keep inspired, and let's see where our journey will lead us.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk in a couple weeks.
And then talk to you next time.
Okay, take care.